Boys and girls, welcome back. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring you the Aquila game as Aquila decided not to go through to the next round. EU's just that tough that even the number one seed out of EU cannot make it all the way, especially if they play in different roles. That's what we learned today. But instead, we'll be bringing you Potato Boys versus SK Gaming on your screens live and underway. The Suntouch squad versus Reels and Friends, we'll call them. Or Maniac and Friends. Let's call them Maniac and Friends. I don't like Reels.
Maniac and Friends. I
don't like
yeah, Reels isn't really the star of this team. I think it's all about Maniac.
Because he is a true Maniac. Will they role swap again? That's the question.
Yes.
Because it's their permanent roles. Well, look at the picks of banner straight away. Loki, Carly take off the table by Potato Boys. Suket, 4 take away. Assassins off the table for everyone! And that means Giannis gets through for the Potato Boys. That's going to go to Suntouch. And across the way, though, it means Vulcan and Sylvanas go to SK.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my answer. No, because it's not a role swap.
Because it's permanent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Vulcan Sylvanas for SK Gaming. And, we'll see what Potato Boys pick. They've got a Nemesis hover right now and an Apollo hover, locking both of those
very
in.
Fast.
There's going to be Nemesis Jungle, which Redfoo played very well last game, and Apollo, which I think every hunter can play Apollo. If you can't play Apollo, learn Apollo.
You should be playing Hunter. Unless you're in NA, then don't play Apollo, because go into your own games and try gods like Jabalonke, Cupid, and those.
Cupid's great.
Yeah, Cupid's alright. Cupid's alright. You love Cupid in NA. We
but
know
in Europe, they really love AMC. Just ask for Duckbots. You should try that in your European ranked games.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Give it a go. Especially if you're against me. I'd be very, very happy and pleased. Neath being hovered over once again by SK Gaming. We did see Reels play it a little bit earlier on. With great success, correct? With great success. So
he played it very well.
Is this a sneaky, like, Neath is on the way back into the meta a little bit more?
I hope so. She is fun. She's interesting to see. One of the people who works with us, Moji, is actually a really, really big Neath player. She loves the character.
She loves Neath.
Yeah, and I have proof. I can prove that.
All she does is talk about Neath 24/7. Like, why does no one pick Neath? And now she's very excited to see Reels locking that one in once again. Counterbands coming out as Ymir gets taken away by SK Gaming and back over to the Potato Boys, who ban away Ale Kwang. Once again, we do not have a picture of him. He's not photogenic, just like myself. We're not designed for camera purposes. Unfortunately for me, I'm on camera. But Bastet's going to be picked up once again by SK Gaming. Will that be Badger in the jungle one more time?
I hope so. I think his best set in I think it's just a really good pick. You know, he's sort of the European lasses on this character, playing very well with the kitty cat Geb for the support role, something that Durgius has played for a long time, and looks like Masag going back to wait, no, that's not Masag, sorry. Yeah, Arrow going to Kronos. And Arrow has played Kronos before in the mid lane. Really suits soul lane better, so Athena, I love this. I love the way that Arrow plays Athena, and it'll be fascinating to see how SK Gaming soul lane or Captain Twig deals with it, as he is not picked yet. Probably.
He has not picked yet, or at least we don't think he has. He could be taking Vulcan into that solo lane. We'll find out, though, as it's currently the last pick for SK Gaming. They have to think about what they're going to send in against this Athena. What would you consider sending in here? Arachne?
I'd probably go for Anubis. I actually feel, now that I think about that a little more, I feel like Anubis wouldn't be that bad against Athena. Because you could kill her. Not many other people can.
Did you recommend on Smite game stream to pick Anubis?
Especially in your European ranked games, yes. Yeah. Definitely. But we're going to see a Chaac, which is something that Captain Twig is very, very good at. He's played it for a long time. One of the first players to bring it to the middle lane. Now that he's a solo laner, I'm sure he'll also do very well with the god. And, you know, I love these SK Gaming roster swaps, which are totally permanent.
Well, guys, we'll be right back with this game. Potato Boys versus SK Gaming in this semi-final one-shot tournament. On your screens, we'll see that all the action coming to you live shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Apologies for the long delay. Unfortunately, we can't bring you SK Gaming versus Potato Boys in the semi-final. Apologies for that one. But what we can bring you is the other semi-final going on right now between Soup A Stars up against Wasted Talent. Wasted Talent defeated Aquila today, correct?
They did. Now, Aquila was, similar to SK Gaming, trying out some different role positions for their players. I don't think they'll be sticking with it. It didn't seem to work out too well. Pretty Prime, apparently not a very good Thor player.
Oh, confirmed. We will not be seeing that at Worlds coming out, then I'm guessing, more than likely, from Pretty Prime. Maybe we'll
SK
see
Gaming, though.
SK Gaming, they're making it work. We'll find out if they do well against Potato Boys in that game later on. But right now, we're going to see Wasted Talent position themselves on this right-hand side. This is a very similar strategy to what we saw from SK Gaming do earlier on. Try and get the pick.
It is, and you know I don't think they're gonna get it. Just sitting on our tower currently is Emilito and Sayo, with Optics chilling with them out as well. He's got his web set up. And returning from the fountain is hi-rez, who will be playing support. Interestingly enough, former jungler for Mortality. Well, I suppose still jungler for Mortality, but with this lineup, he is playing support.
Yep, and we're going to be seeing Optics, formerly a mid laner, playing jungle Arachne. Emilito, solo lane once again. Solo role as Loki. Let's talk English for a second, shall we? So, nothing happens at the start. Everybody, I can't talk American because I have a brain. Oh, the shots! They were so good. I'm proud of myself now, and I'll probably get in trouble. But it's cool. 10 seconds in, mid-camp spawn, nothing unusual to see. Actually, Optics is going to start his own red buff this time round. He's not going to do the early clear of the Harpies and go straight for the blue. They're confident that they're not going to get invaded, so they're going to abuse that situation and clear that buff quicker.
Well, let's think about it. It's an Arachne jungle versus a Kali jungle. Arachne wins that by a lot, so I don't think any invade would be a good idea for Wasted Talent, especially invading up against a team that is more of a favorite in this match. You know, it's generally a bit of a tough category. Now, the thing is, superstars will be pushed a little bit in the solo lane. They are going to be under tower thanks to their slightly more aggressive early clear.
Rafa has become Frezzy, he's evolved, he's learned from his fellow teammates.
Maybe it was Rafa's idea.
Will he get caught though? Oh, he's going to juke with the rollout away from Giannis, who was rotating in. He's just going to give it up, actually. I don't think he would have been able to kill him alone there in that situation, but it's allowed Yami to be put under a little bit of pressure from this Athena Freya. Not too much, however, as he should be okay to trade backwards and forwards with them. Rafa just soaked a bit of experience in mid for himself, gave Yami a little bit of experience in that left lane.
In the solo lane, still losing a bit of gold to tower is Optics and Emilito, which is unfortunately just the plight of early game Loki. He doesn't have that much clear, and Mono will have control of this lane. Rotating out is Optics along with Dark Yard on that Kali, and Kali is just going to get a little bit of farm in middle lane. Doesn't have much to do on the left-hand side. Actually now going red buff, and unfortunately didn't take the direct path middle lane, but on the left-hand side, a disperse in coming out from Yamin, impaled the wall. That's going to be first blood, going to hi-rez. And yeah, you know what? I think Frezzy would have taken that kill too.
He would have taken that kill, of course he would have, and now Rafi's going to roll out as the rotation did come in from Kali, and Giannis a little bit too late to that party as we see Optics continue to clear his jungle out. He should hit level 4 after doing that speed buff as well. Aggression to Freya one more time coming out from Yami and Rafa in this duo lane. They've got good control of this one, and as to be expected in solo, Vermont is going to push the tower consistently, and Emilito is just going to have to play it safe, wait for his decoy to get maxed up before he can start clearing the wave. But look at Rafa going for red.
Rafa getting very aggressive, not going to find it, instead will get taunted out, but as a Geb up against an Athena and a Giannis, I don't think he'll be taking too much damage. It's like Kali that he has to worry about. Locked in. Yeah, that didn't really work out for Rafa.
He's going to learn his lesson now. Is he going to get... Wow, he juked the unstable vortex. Well, he didn't see that one coming.
Here's the thing, though. In running over towards the duo lane, he actually gave Wasted Talent an extra assist, which was a bad decision. He would have been better off just standing and dying.
Well, the Rafa is learning the ways of the support. He's had teammates like Durgis on his side as well as Frezzy, so he's learned how to die and feed amicably well, Kret, going into this game. And already, he's put it to good use.
Yeah, he is. Now, in the left-hand lane, Yamin level 5, and after that first blood, he is, well, it didn't go to him, but he seems to be a little aggressive in his lane, taking control. Mid camps are spawning, and Sayo seems to be prepared to get the left-hand side. He's going to just use his ultimate to secure those Harpies, and right-hand side, I believe, also went to Optics.
Good to see Sayo back in mid lane once again, though, after his transition there for Mortality from the solo lane. He's doing a good job in there so far. Rafa just going to shockwave and clear up those creeps there. Yami still waiting to hit 1400 gold for his Devourer's Gauntlets. He'll be there soon with that. After this wave, he should be going back to base for those. Loki, meanwhile, played by Emilito in the solo lane, still working on that Heartseeker. He doesn't have just enough gold just yet to purchase that, but he will do after this next wave, and the blue buff spawn soon, as is the speed. Gonna throw a ward down for himself in that general area just to keep an eyes open of rotations.
Yep, Sayo holding his ground in the middle lane, and Superstars not taking as much of an early advantage as some of the other teams we've seen today. They're having a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start. I mean, they've got a very interesting team of players who haven't really played that much together. Most of them are on pro teams, as you know, but seeing them mixed up together in different roles to an extent. I mean, Optics in the jungle, Rafa in support is not something we usually see. So we'll see how this plays out for him. And these guys wasted talent. I mean, they did beat Aquila, even if they were messing around. They're still pro players at the end of the day, so they understand what's going on. So wasted talent, they're not going to be that bad of a team, in all honesty.
Yeah, definitely able to play at a higher level now. Teleporting out, or rather, portaling out is Yanis there. Not quite getting caught by the Arachne, and Optics on this jungle bug is an incredible menace, very scary, but only when he's next to people. If he's not able to get in range of you, he doesn't really do too much, and that's really Arachne's biggest flaw, is she can either get in with her ultimate or get out with her ultimate, but she can't do both.
Well, Golden experience pretty much even at 5 minutes in this game. Harpies kind of got traded evenly, but the push coming out as well from Vermana is putting the pressure on there. Blue buff being taken down by Freya with the help of that Athena and Kali. When Rafa's going aggressive, again, he needs to watch himself. He doesn't realise there is an army waiting around that corner. Changes his mind at the last second. Wisely so.
Yeah. And honestly, this is a little bit of a more passive game than what we've seen so far. And partially that's the Superstars lineup. They're not really going super early game. You know, maybe you could make the argument that Arachne's more early game, but she just doesn't have the CC she needs to get those early kills.
I mean, wasted talent as well. There's no reason for them to go aggressive. Their late game does sound disgusting. Vermana, Freya, Kali, and Janus. That's a big late game team composition that's going to do a lot of damage, and you're going to have a multiple targets to try and choose from in a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a bad late game character on wasted talent. And Superstars, I mean, I don't know if they'll stand up as well. On her falls off a little bit in comparison to a Freya, but hold on, Emilito up against Dark Yodka, and it looks like that Kali is just gonna back off. Left-hand side, Optics is trying to zone out both mid camps, or sorry, one mid camp each per each team.
Still, once again, the passivity continues. Yami, though, does get a bit of an experience lead over this Freya, obviously because of that first blood. Cataclysm in mid lane from Rafa, though, followed by a sniper, and it looks like we might see the second blood of the game go out in terms of one of these teams, or will it? He does manage to portal out using the through space and time to escape certain death. But there's a good gank attempt from Rafa, and Optics going to go around in the jungle, see if he can find some love at this red buff.
Yeah, that amount of map pressure is going to allow Superstars to attempt to steal this red buff, and just zoning out is Rafa and Sayo. It is going to go the way of Sayo. They're giving it to their mid laner. Kelly can't really contest that. She just doesn't have what she needs to fight, and return to middle lane is Giannis there, so he'll be able to hold his ground and hopefully get something done.
Slow and slightly methodical coming out from the Superstars right now. They did take the red buff, didn't find a kill for it though, but thanks to the damage that they put out onto the Giannis, they did manage to take away the red buff, so small experience lead given to them for the time being. It won't be too long though, as farming will just continue as always.
It definitely will. On her versus Freya resumes, and on her starting to miss a bit of a window, right? Like, Freya is beginning to come online, has gone Witchblade first, that's going to slow her down, but it'll also make her more defensive. It'll make her safer in lane.
Against an Anher as well. Anher, one of the greater boxes in the Hunter role as well. When you're coming up into that lane, going for the Witchblade first item, it gives you movement speed, physical protection, and attack speed. All amazing things that she needs. On top of that, the aura will also just reduce the physical damage dealt by people in the area. So take into account that's going to be the likes of Anher, the likes of Arachne, the likes of Loki. So I really like the itemization as a first item choice, especially when, you know, Vampiric Shroud, it's not the easiest thing to get last hits on a Freya.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not guaranteed, and it's also important to mention that, you know, Freya is essentially countered by assassins. That's something she has to be very careful of. So the Witchblade will just harden her up a little bit, sort of doing double duty, reducing power and increasing armor.
Oh,
On
looks
left-hand
like
side,
Athena.
slowed down is a taxi. Nice blink from Rapper into the Cataclysm. This is probably going to be a kill. Sayo takes it with the Celestial Beam, and that should be a Gold Fury.
Pretty clean pick overall coming out from Superstars. They're going to start the Gold Fury up now. Freya's coming back to lane. Vertex in this mid, sorry, Visek in this mid lane has Giannis ultimate available, but will he really try and make an attempt? No, he will not. Snipe comes out from Sayo as well, just to make sure he bursts that down nice and quick. First Gold Fury of the game goes over to Superstars.
Yes, it will. Superstars now finally taking a nice gold lead. 2,000 gold and 1,500. No, 2,000. Alright, it's changing wave to wave. But, hovering between 1,000 2,000 experience advantage. Now a bit of a gank on the right-hand side coming out from Sayo, but Emilito is just too low on health to really do anything.
If Sayo didn't have his ultimate available, Emilito had already burnt his ultimate onto Death Panther as well, who'd also use his in response. Kali going to come over here, might be able to find a kill into Emilito, who's out of mana here. She can get a lash off. Athena's ulting in. Is that bleed tick going to be enough is the question. I don't think it will. It's going to be close though, but not close enough. Sayo's going to be able to defend against the Athena Kali onslaught, but that leaves Death Panther with a bit of free farm on this right-hand side.
Not only free farm, but he's gonna get some tower push and does have enough mana to clear the path out should he need to. Red buff has fallen. Sayo should be able to pick that up as Emilito returns to the soul lane. Oh, Sayo's actually grabbing blue because it would have rotted before Emilito got there.
He got there in time just to pick that one up. I wonder if they give the red over to Emilito this time around then. Looks like Emilito's going to take the red buff here. So I guess they just didn't expect him to go back, so a quick switch on the buff. Skull Fury is down right now. You can see Athena around there trying to give Sentry Ward cover around that area, just for some global presence, not really for Gold Fury control at the moment, because that will not be there by the time the Gold Fury respawns. Blue buff being taken down by Yami though, in the meantime. As we check in with the golden experience, you can see a small differential now in favour of Superstars at 1,500 experience and 2,000 gold.
On the left-hand lane, we do have a bit of a 2v2. Level 12 on her, and the supports, well, they're even. Freya does have her pen boots online.
Right-hand side. Femana could be in a bit of trouble here. Going to get assassinated as he tried to jump away. Has to jump out to the big baby form. Is the sustain going to be enough? Optics goes down. Optics goes up, rather, with the ultimate, trying to bring him down. Not going to find it, but this turnaround from Giannis, very good indeed. Emilito's going to pay with his life. And now if Carly jumped into Optics, who does not have his ultimate available. 2 quick kills in favor of Wasted Talent. Really nice counter rotation from them.
A Wasted Talent. You think they have the late game advantage? I mean, both these teams are good, but with a Kali and a Freya, I feel like they have that advantage. Now, taking the first tower of the game, I think they might have what it takes to win. As solo invade coming out from Raffer will have Sayo to back him up, and
They do not get that one, but can they cause Freya to die for the Plunderous steal away of the red buff? The defense was good, and she's going to escape with her life. She defends the red buff there, correct. Raffer did not hog correctly.
no, he didn't. Freya able to pick that up with the AoE and the pulse, which I can't be hitting that hard, 60, 80 at the most, so just unfortunate for Superstars there. They're slipping a little bit. Still have that gold lead, but they're now down in experience. It's only about 500, 600, so it's an advantage and not a true lead, but Wasted Talent are staying competitive in the mid game.
Yeah, relatively even between these two teams, 2-3 in terms of score right now. 1 goal, 3 though in favour of Superstars. It's a slow-paced game to an extent, and it's just misplays more than anything. Just trying to find that one pick every time, correct, before we've really seen any action coming out.
Yeah, speaking of no action coming out, Emilito in the solo lane just stacking up that Heartseeker. Needs about 17 more stacks before he gets that online, and likely will keep farming after that. Emilito on this Loki really plays that split push style. He is looking to assassinate, but more than that, he's looking to kill towers, and partially that just gives Mana plenty of room to free farm, and Vamana seemingly going into chin size, he's gonna have a really nice transition into a damage oriented role.
Well, I mean, especially with he's got Smithy's Hammer Wicked on Runeforge. Oh, Yami just missing impale into the wall there. They could have paid dividends for him, but the Desert Fury is enough with the help of Optics and that Venomous Bite to bring him down. A taxi goes down, and Raph is looking at a potential blink in there. I'm not sure if he's going to go for it or just roll out from behind. We'll find out. They're just zoning off. His attempt to blink in. The Cataclysm was not good as Jojo takes to the sky with the Valkyrie's descent. So discretion to get himself out of trouble. Now they might continue to dive though. They're not going to. Good banish coming out from Freya once more. Rafa takes some more poke, but now Sayo's coming over and Jojo's hanging around a bit too long.
Yeah, the team's just taking a while to get their left tower probably going to go down, but maybe Sile will get turned around on as Athena shows up. Yanis is waiting and waiting, going to teleport in, misses the unstable vortex and takes Celestial Beam to the face. There's a stun coming out onto Rapper, who's down to just about 25% health, and as Vamana does arrive, he might be able to get some damage and kill the support. On the other side of the fight, it's Yemen 1v4 getting chased by Akali, who is out of mana. Vamana turning around, he's out of mana as well, and it doesn't look like Wasted Talent will be able to pick anything up. They just didn't really have the focus needed.
They lose 2 towers for this because they lost the one on the tier 1 on the left, and on the right hand side, Amelito's going to pick that one up thanks to the rotation coming out from that Vamana. Vamana went onto the Geb as well, which is a bit unfortunate. I feel if he would have chosen a different target, they could have really collapsed as a whole unit, but he zoned Geb away and didn't manage to find the kill for there. 3 for 3 though, and continuing on is Amelito with the split push, and Gold Fury now been started by Superstars.
Yeah, Gold Fury started by Superstars. There is an Athena here to contest, but Optics does have enough damage to just zone her out. Dashing past, finds the taunt. It could go either way. Nice Impale. Superstars will be able to take the Gold Fury. Taxi dying for that one. Beautiful taunt from Yemen, saving the objective and maintaining the advantage for Wasted Talent. They're up 4,000 gold, 3,000 experience. They have finally taken the lead.
Yeah, and in really good position right now. Amelito doing his best to just continue being a troublesome little man in the jungle now, having to juke out of a lot of trouble. Blinking from Rafa, followed by the shield and shockwave to get him out of trouble, but he's about to jump into Akali, so he has to assassinate away. Going to be chased down and hit by a portal from Giannis, and that's going to spell lights out for Amelito, and now Rafa's going to get chased down for his indiscretions, but a good pillar from Yami. Going to make sure he doesn't get the angle cut off and him by that Kali. So a disengage Amelito, just a little bit too deep.
Well, yeah, taken down is the Loki player, and honestly, it doesn't usually happen this early on just because of how slippery Loki is, but Amelito didn't have actives. He is going to buy beads rank 1 now, which should help him out, as on Loki, honestly, you shouldn't need beads more than once every 3 minutes until much later in the game when you're starting to get aggressive. Heck, mid camps are spawning. They should go 1-1 for each team, returning to their side lanes, Vamana and Freya respectively, and they will continue to farm up. Vamana strangely going execution instead of chin size, which is honestly not quite as good on the character.
Well, he has built to go for that. He's going to be wicked on that Runeforge hammer still. Looks like he's going to look towards this blue buff as well, but he needs to watch his positioning because he is alone on this side of the map. He doesn't know Optics is in the area, and with Loki back over here, he's going to contest the blue buff though. Will he find it? No, he will not. That will go to Loki, and now maybe Optics and Amelito can chase, choosing not to, but Sayo's there as well. They finally assassinate. There's a potential for a foot all in here. I just think that slow coming out from Death Path was enough to allow him to escape potential death.
Yeah, and holding ground on the left-hand side. Returning to base, actually, Freya. Yemen there just going to keep farming. He's level 15. He's really starting to come online. Rage and having some crit will be a huge, huge factor, but I don't know. It's still 4-4. The gold lead has come primarily through
might be able to get a solo kill onto Vamana before Kali could jump in. Kali was waiting for the bait round there, but now Amelito doesn't have his Vanish available or his Assassinate for a few more seconds. Athena's coming in with that Giannis ultimate as well. Vanish is back up now. He's used it immediately to try and escape coverage from Sayo. The rest of the rotation coming in from Superstars to get them out of trouble. Snipe does not connect from Sayo, but maybe they can catch somebody out of position here. It looks like it might be Giannis.
Yeah, well, Athena also very low, and now Freya is coming to the fray, but her pulses are going to run out without finding a target. Jumping back in is Optics, but just some damage. Dev Fury trying to secure a kill will force out the Kali ultimate, which is a win in and of itself. A Celestial Beam from Sayo will connect, and this tower likely will go down. They just need to transfer it onto someone who can tank it. Optics will do well enough, and the tower will fall. First 2-2 in the game will go in favor of Superstars.
Sustained from the heals from Raz, but as the shield from Geb is enough to allow them to tank that one up. They're going to be able to take away the speed buff now. The blue buff been started by Sayo as well. So methodical destruction of the enemy jungle and that tier 2. The fight, they didn't find many kills in it, but they did get plenty of objectives.
Yes, they did, and well, actually, Dark Yod does have those chin size online, so he's able to get some kills, but forced off really quick as his team doesn't really engage simultaneously. It's actually a 4v4, but Yemen was able to walk off and kill the middle tower with some sneaky feline antics.
Just getting some objectives now. The whole team are just starting to push Wasted Talent around from pillar to post. 5,000 experience lead now, 6,500 gold. Only 2 tier 2 towers remain for Wasted Talent to try and defend. They've done a good job so far, but they're just starting to get pushed around the map into areas where they don't want to be.
Well, So Wasted Talent are behind in this game. They're down to 6,500 gold, 4,500 experience. It's primarily an objective thing. So what do you think their plan is? Because in fights, they're doing fine. They're not doing great, but they're doing okay.
I think the experience gap is starting to play a little bit of work to him. Carly does have a chins online, hasn't died just yet. And talking about Carly, she's going to go into Emilito on this side, find the stun. A lot of damage on to Emilito. He's going to be able to get out. No, he is not. Darky ODK is going to find that kill and give Carly yet another one under her belt. And late game, there's a big problem. Optics, though, on the left-hand side is getting caught out of position here. Has to use the ultimate to get out of trouble. Now could have considered chasing, but Yami and Rafa were in the area if they needed to. But yeah, I mean, Carly late game, Freya late game, they're not out of this yet.
No, they're not. It is important to note that Arachne is rarely ever truly caught out of position. Sometimes she can't get where she wants to be, but that ultimate is just such a strong escape. You go so far over the duration of that ability.
You go so fast, and then you also jump a further distance after that as well. Gold Fury's due online in a few seconds, and it looks like Wasted Talent, the ones in the position to try and start this one. They're going to try and catch Rafa out of position, who immediately uses the rollout to force a disengage. Yami takes a bit of poke damage. Sayo's caught out of position around the back here, or is he? Is he the bait that they need?
Well, Sayo takes a lot of damage there. Dark God going into the ultimate. Looks like his target is Yemen, but he's not going to be able to find it and will disengage. Bezik is going to find Sayo, and he's looking for Yemen. Doesn't connect. Taunt not available just yet. Around the backside, though, the Spider takes down the baby. That Defender of Olympus is not going to do too much, and it seems like Vamana just took a fight he couldn't win. And now it's going to be a dead Athena too, as Loki has arrived to the engagement, and Gold Fury will go the way of Superstars.
A crazy fight breaking up. Sayo's positioning there was a full-on bait to allow Rafa to come in with a Cataclysm, set them up for the wombo with the Desert Fury as well. Did good way. Assassinate coming out from Emilito though, on to the Giannis, who's going to survive the bleed damage, not enough to bring him down, but nicely done from him to keep him out of that fight once more. Gold Fury, once again, goes in favor of Superstars.
Yeah, so the most important thing about a bruiser is navigating the line between dealing damage and being tanky. With this Vamana build, I don't think Death Panther is quite doing that right. He's building a little bit damage oriented, but it's not slot efficient, right? So I feel like he's right now a little bit too squishy, and that might keep going. He might either stay too squishy or in the end not end up doing enough damage. It doesn't seem like the right build for the situation to me.
Well, kills are very low in this game for 20 minutes into the game, but it's not because people haven't been fighting. It's just good attempts from both teams to get themselves out of trouble. Rafa's going to trade in the jungle with Carly. Bit of poke between the two, and with Optics chasing after her. Carly's in a bit of trouble here. She'd already used the jump away. A few more hits, a bit of bleed damage, but that's all she wrote. Left-hand side, though. Yami trading off with Freya once more. Oh,
well,
Sayo.
Yeah, Sayo finding that kill right quick.
He found it so quick that she didn't even have time to use her ultimate, which is very surprising.
Give me flashbacks to yesterday.
I was going to say, like, all this weekend, Carly's not using ultimates in time. Unusual.
So, Kali, first real competitive entry, 2 competitive Smite in general. 3v3, she was a huge pick, and one of the primary encounters to her was Habois, because he can kill her so fast that you don't think to ult. It's honestly a really good way to deal with Kali. Just kill her so fast, she doesn't realize she needs to ult.
Well, mid lane being pushed, left hand lane being pushed in by Yami, and right hand side Emilito split pushing to victory once more. Giannis doing his best to clear out these minions as the 3-man assault squad continues. Yami isolating off Freya from this fight too, so it looks like Superstars just want to isolate everybody off and try and slowly pick down these towers. Optics tanking this one up a long time here. Takes a lot of poke damage without a heal coming, but Sayo should be able to heal him up soon. And then the assault can continue once more.
Yeah, it can. The siege from Ra is absolutely insane. Probably the best sieger in the game, or at least the best character to have if you want to siege. Emilito is just doing Loki things, sort of farming on the side, and he'll come into the fight if need be. But for now, just poking down the tower are the Superstars. They're setting up sort of a 1-3-1 push and necessitating that Vamana stay in the right lane to defend against Loki. Emilito now zoning off Vamana from experience, but he's zoning himself off too, so it's not super productive.
Linking
Rapper, the fight is start. Beautiful combo for Sion.
And Optics is going to continue the chase down, trying to look for Carly. Carly going to turn around and do some good damage back though. Taking a lot of poke for himself. Has to use the ultimate. Age is going to buy him some time though. Going to eat a portal to the face, but Emilito comes around the back to pick off Carly after the ultimate ends. Meanwhile, Yami's going to continue to try and farm up this left-hand lane and split push it, as Freya has rotated to mid to support her teams. 4v3 in the middle lane with one man still split pushing. And with Sayo here, they should continue healing shortly.
Unfortunately, it's not the ideal circumstance for Yemen, as he did have to wait about 15 seconds for a wave to arrive, so the pressure on mid is unfortunately forced to back off a little bit. It wasted talent. They're playing this game really well, but I think Superstars is winning just by like a little bit of competitive experience, if you know what I mean. They just have a little bit more experience overall, and it's giving them a slight edge.
I mean, slowly but surely, they've just slowly crippled down that tier 2 tower in mid lane, waited for the opportunity to initiate, and did so. The moment the tower was nearly dead, they took it down, they took the fight, and then pressured all the lanes at the same time, with Emilito switching in as well. So good communication coming out from Superstars there. That extends their experience lead to just over 11,000, near 12, and 12,000 gold respectively. Fire Giants available though, still not been looked at by either team yet, but as you can see, Wasted Talents Athena has just gone there, popped that ward down for some vision control, ready for the oncoming onslaught of that buff.
The other thing I want to mention, Freya comes online, we all know this, when she gets Fatalis and Demonic Grip. She hasn't done that yet because of the full Witchblade being finished early on, and honestly, I think if you're going to go Witchblade on Freya, something has to give. You either don't finish the Witchblade and leave it at rank 2, you don't finish Boots and leave it at rank 2, because Fatalis and Demonic Grip is non-negotiable. You need that to fight.
Freya being forced out after the
Rapper,
assassinate, but Rafa's going to go in deep this right side. The snipe comes out as well. Going to use the shield on himself as they're trying to focus him for some reason as Vermont pushes him back, but now Yami rotates in on the backside, trying to do some damage back. It looks like Panther's doing some good crit damage there, forcing the leap away from Yami, and he's sustaining very well, but he's got no support of his team there, Cret. His team backed off, and he stuck around just a little bit too long and pays the price with his life.
Yeah, poor Panther there. He opened up with 2 crits. It was looking really good, and he didn't crit again. He got crit, 200 to the face from, I believe, the Hunter. Nice taunt there into a portal, but there's no follow-up damage. It actually falls to the Spider. Mid Phoenix is under siege from Yemen. Optics backing off. Emilito will get stunned out, taking some decent damage down to about half, and actually will connect with the assassinate. Sayo doesn't need to ult there, as Emilito's auto attack will find the kill, but it was still a good ultimate. It just wasn't necessary.
Emilito might go down to the portal.
Well,
he will. Now Sayo's going to try and blind, and Celestial Beam does connect onto Freya. Freya's in a bit of trouble here. Meanwhile, mid lane Phoenix does go down, and Giannis turns up trying to get a burst damage, but he gets an impale to the mouth.
Turn up.
Has to use a portal and get away immediately. Left on Phoenix is now going to be sieged.
Yeah, on the left-hand side, though, Sayo is going to keep pressuring the Phoenix, and we'll be able to take that eventually. But, not yet, not yet. Gonna back off towards the speed buff, which will be going the way of Optics, Sayo, and Raffer. Okay, that was a Blink rank 2. I thought Sayo just combat blinked, and I was so confused. But nope, Blink rank 2, can totally use that. That was a good use of it. Fire Giant is up. Wasted Talent might be able to rush it.
They should. They've got vision of it at the moment. Should they be able to get it down quick enough? That's the question. Well, there is a ward there, so they're going to have to take that one down. So now immediately, Superstars know this is going on. Sayo is already in position to try and defend. His snipe not available for a few more seconds. 7 seconds, in fact. But this is going down quicker than they would hope for. And he's just helped them do it right there with that Celestial Beam. Didn't get the damage off. Optics trying to chase them down with the help of Rafa, trying to find a pick and response. But what a nice play from Wasted Talent. They were in trouble and managed to do the best to take a Fire Giant and keep themselves in this game for now, or have they?
Or have they is the question. Sayo's going to keep up the pressure on the right-hand lane, but he doesn't have a Hunter here. Optics is decent at tower killing, but not necessarily the best, so this Phoenix is going to take a while to get down.
Emilito split pushing left-hand side, already getting himself in position, while the rest of Superstars group up on right. Rafa's not too scared to be on the front line in this engagement. Just going to be careful of grouping up too much for this Athena 4-man taunt that is available to her. She's going to find 2. But great knock-up from Rafa the moment they came in. Forces the disengage for the most part. And now the fight's actually going in Superstars' favour. But Carly's still chasing onto Sayo, trying to find the kill for him.
Oh,
Not
so
going to
close.
find him. Actually, Fury. The lash does come down as Athena dunks it onto Rafa. They're turning attention to him as well as Optics. But meanwhile, all this is going on, Cret. Emilito's getting the Phoenix.
Yeah, Raffer is going to be able to get away with that rollout. Gem Panther will find Optics, and I'm sorry, Raffer was not able to get away. A clutch banish, gonna get that kill. Now Yemen's in a horrible position. But honestly, Wasted Talent is too. They've only got a mana to defend their Titan. Yaman is just buying as much time as possible. He will go down, and Emilito might as well. He is very low on health, will back off, and Death Panther is busy killing creeps. Wasted Talent hold.
They hold, but they also lose more as they lose a Phoenix and an assassinate from Emilito as he goes in with the Vanish, finds the kill on to... Was that Giannis? It was onto Giannis, indeed. He did take down Giannis there, but paid with his life as well.
So
on the other side,
that was worth, but for who? Who is saying worth there? I know someone is.
Well, it's 45 seconds until Emilito respawns,
45?
so it's going to be a little bit of a delay before they can get that one back up. They've got 2 Phoenixes down, the middle one's due to spawn soon, so not having a full team of superstars to deal with for a few extra seconds might be more worthwhile.
Yeah, very, very quick. Freya is backing off. We'll try and get some tower damage here, but unfortunately that is not her forte, as 4 hits do about 7% damage to that tower. Raffer is going to get taunted out of his rollout, stunned, and they are just kiting the Geb. Raffer's blink is not available yet. He's going to find a Cataclysm onto JoJo, and a slow from the rollout vanish off. Jumping away is Kali. Optics and Saya are trying to catch up, but I don't think they'll be able to. It looks like Wasted Talent will return to their base. They're not safe and sound, but...
Now, this is the only reason you've seen superstars do this. They're trying to take this Phoenix and they know it's up in a few seconds. It'll begin flashing any moment right now. And they're just trying to keep the pressure on as Raph is zoning out. They're going to be careful though, because there's only 3 of them here against a 5-man team. And now with Kali coming in, Optics is the one that's going to get focused, have to use the ultimate away after the lash. Meanwhile, Phoenix is now respawned once again. Rafa looking at trying to go back in. The whole team of superstars back online, but so is the Phoenix.
Yeah, the Phoenix is up and it will start regenerating health, but it's going to take a while, so Wasted Talent really need to find a way to hold their ground. They're starting to come online in terms of damage. They can certainly kill the opposition, but they're having some trouble sticking. Kali can't stick on the target she wants to, has gotten kills, but not getting them as fast as maybe is necessary. There are 3 Witchblades.
If in doubt, buy a Witchblade.
Okay, Witchblade's a great item, but honestly, if there's already one on your team, you should probably leave it at rank 2.
I think 2 of them on the team is okay, just because if you're in different parts of the fight, but in mid lane, Sao gets caught out of position here, going to take a long poke, has to use a combat blink to get himself out of a world of pain. But going back to Witchblade, I mean, if you have someone who's on the back line and one on the front line with it, it's not the worst thing in the world, because at least you're spreading it around the whole team fight.
Yeah, well, here's the question. Where would Sayo be without his combat blink?
In the base, buying some items, probably some wards.
Yeah,
thinking about the mistakes he'd made. That's pretty much where he'd be right now in that situation, but the combat blink did pay off for him. 7,000 experience difference now. It's not mattering too much though, as everybody's pretty much level 20. Only really the support's not hitting level 20 just yet. As the Fire Giant's due back online soon, and you can see both teams starting to vie for it. This is the chance for Wasted Talent to get themselves back into this one, in all honesty here, Krat. If they can take this Fire Giant, the Phoenix on the left is about to respawn. You can see that's why Emilito is going over there to split push it now. If they can get these Phoenixes back up and get this Fire Giant, this game's still going.
It is, and it looks like Freya's going to be sent to defend the base. She only has bead, so Loki's probably going to kill her. Emilito goes invisible, will find the vanish, and the aim strike into the assassinate up in the air. It's Freya. The Phoenix respawns at a good time. Freya's still alive for now, but the vanish coming back in.
Oh, the curse!
He is a curse? I mean,
meanwhile,
it's going to be
on the right-hand side, they're going to try and pressure this now that they know Emilito's up there alone. He does take down that Phoenix again. As you can see, Kali jumps away, but it looks like it's going to be Big Baby who's the one that's going to pay the price. He's staying on the front line, trying to use that Big Baby form to his advantage, trying to beat down Yami with the crits that he's got, but he's not doing a lot of damage. He's a Celestial Beam. The Pillar denies him access to get away, and Optics brings him down with the Venomous Bite. Now they're going to rotate to mid lane, more than likely because that Phoenix is still weakened.
Yeah, and it's going to go down rather quick once Yami gets his hands on it. Dashing in is Athena, trying to buy some time. Shell is out as Dark God goes on Sayo. Sayo's combat blink is down for another 60 seconds as Kali's in the ultimate. Athena using Defender of Olympus on the already low health target, and Optics is going to be able to pick up that kill. Continuing forward and looking for the Fountain, a nice portal to help him stay alive as Optics takes a hit from the Fountain, taunted in. The Chaos Titan gonna take his head off. Now Raffer in trouble under the Titan. Bizek is here as well, and
They're gonna
I
wipe.
think they might get the Titan. It's at 15%. Yeah,
They're gonna
it's
wipe.
just unloading on it. 3%. 0% disperse is not enough damage. The Titan reset.
That said 0%. That said 0%.
It did.
That
It
said
reset
0%.
from 0% to 15. Wow.
Emilito and Optics are having flashbacks now to the EU land going, no, not again. This can't be happening 2 times in a row. No, it's only once in a lifetime. Now Fire Giant been started up by wasted talent. They've got time with the whole team dead for them to take this for 3. 3 members of the team will get it. Actually, the whole team should be able to get this by the time Carly comes online. The Fire Giant will drop. It's taken them a while to do it, but they've got plenty of time for that. It's still going to live for the time being. We're still in this one. Wasted talent is still in this one, but
I don't know.
Sayo snipe. This is what I'm going to see now. Sayo,
Yeah,
follow
he has
him.
combat blink.
Watch him do this. Oh, I was just hoping he's just going to run for it. Like,
But
he
he's
should
gonna
just
farm.
run and snipe. Combat blink snipe. That's all he needs to do.
But if he fails, he adds another 15%.
Then that'll just make this game even hyper.
Yeah. Yeah, it would.
That would make it
Moving
even
forward.
hyper.
Oh, I hope he fails. That will be a lot of fun. And look, there's wards covering, so this isn't free. He really wants it, but he's gonna have to walk past creeps. He's gonna be spotted. Sile up very far. Does have his combat blink, but yeah, he's just gonna back off. Gonna play a little bit smarter than that.
If
The Phoenix
Emilito gets in there as Loki as well, Loki should be able to bring this one down in a matter of seconds as well with a full
He
combo.
should, but he has to stealth at the right time. There are good lane wards. They just need one in the right lane.
They're trying to catch Rafa, who was going in deep there, trying to get in Cataclysm onto 2, but Rafa's just walking forwards here. He's trying to just pressure them back.
Oh, look at Optics. Look at Sayo.
The snipe. There's Optics coming down with the spider for the secure. Not this time, says the Cloud9 members. Not this time indeed. We're going to go on and win this time round. You're not going to do an Aquila to us. So, we're going to see Soup as Stars moving on to the final to face off against SK Gaming, who defeated Potato Boys in the other semi-final game. Guys, we'll be right back with that one after a short break as these guys get into picks and bans.